another controversial little interview type thing. Shaq kind of hating on Donovan Mitchell. A lot of people, there's a big debate on whether it was criticism or whether it was just straight up hating. So I'm going to read the full quote in a second. Let me pull it up. So here it is. So Shaq interviewed Donovan Mitchell right after a game, and he said, quote, "I said tonight that you are one of my favorite players, but you don't have what it takes to get to the next level. I said it on purpose. I wanted you to hear it. What do you have to say about that?" And Donovan Mitchell, if you go back and watch the clip, he's very obviously shaken by this. He was not expecting it at all. And it was, man, it just felt so awkward to be in there, just watching it. It gave me secondhand embarrassment personally. But he responded, "I," and Shaq shot back at him, "That's it?" And Donovan Mitchell said, "That's it. I've been hearing that since my rookie year. I'm just going to get better and do what I do." What do you think about this? Was it hate or was it criticism?
I kind of felt like it was uncalled for. Donovan Mitchell right now is averaging a career high in points and assists at the moment. The team is third in the West and has the third best record in the NBA right now. I mean, I know it's early in the season, so can't go too crazy with those stats, but he's leading the charge for the Jazz, with the help, of course, of Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert. But he is the main guy, and he's the team's franchise player. Mitchell came into the league averaging 20 points as a rookie. He led the team to the playoffs, made it past the Thunder in the first round, and they competed against the Rockets the second round. No one really thought the Jazz were going to be doing that in that time frame. From in my opinion, you know, this isn't justified at all. Mitchell has been busting his butt, to keep the Jazz relevant and keep the team afloat. Without him, that team would not be a playoff team. And even if they are, they're nowhere near contending if he's not on the team. Um, the dude pulled out in the bubble last year. He dropped 36 points per game in the series against the Nuggets. I mean, granted, they lost that series when they were up 3-1, but that also goes to the fact that they did have some players missing who opted out and didn't want to play in the bubble as well. I understand Shaq going after Rudy Gobert. His numbers aren't that special for the contract extension that he got. But Mitchell, he's on a big new deal. I mean, this seems like forced motivation. If anything, it kind of feels like he's trying to make a controversial statement to get at Mitchell to fire him up, but it just kind of came off as disrespectful. And for me, I mean, it seems a lot of old head versus new guy or new head kind of old school versus new school kind of thing going on at the moment. With a lot of these comments being made by older players and former players to a lot of these new guys. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know why, but I feel like for me, I just felt like this was not right on Shaq's part.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, I agree with you that it was totally uncalled for. I mean, like I said, watching it gave me secondhand embarrassment. It was just a weird moment to ask him or talk to him about this. If you're gonna say this to him, I appreciate that he said it to his face, but if you're gonna say that, don't say it on TV right after a win. Like, what do you expect him to say? Like, I don't know. It's just so strange. Like, if you're gonna tell him like about this stuff, either just say it publicly so he gets the message like himself, or say it to his face, but say it off air. Like say it to like off air. And Mitchell elaborated in the locker room. They pressed him with some questions. Donovan Mitchell said, "Quote: I hate to take a win like this and make it about what they said about me. Look at how we played. Look at how we guarded. I'm happy." And then he also said, quote, "Remember the start of the year, we came out flat in certain games. If teams hit us first, we didn't have a pushback, but now we do. Quote, I'm here to play basketball and to be the best teammate and best player that I can be. If they don't like it, they don't like it. I'm not trying to make this about me. This is team basketball." Look, you can't get a better response than that. Donovan Mitchell, it's just ridiculous that he's getting this type of criticism because look, he's in his 4th year. He's like 22 years old. You know, are we expecting him to win a championship right now with LeBron James in the West on that stacked Lakers team? Right? Like, are we really expecting him to take his team to the next level? Like, because all right, if you want to argue about Donovan Mitchell's impact, let's go back and talk about last year's playoffs in the bubble. Donovan Mitchell dropped 57, 51, and 44 in 3 playoff games last year and was shooting 52% on threes. What more do you want him to do? He was the reason that team was even up 3-1 in the first place. Conley was selling. Rudy Gobert was okay, but he was pretty unimpressive. You know, he pushed that team to the max it could get. He had 36 that night that Shaq told him that. Like it's such a I don't want to say it's a weak move by Shaq, but it's such an uncalled for move. And it's just, Donovan Mitchell doesn't deserve this right now because he is the one, he is the team. It's not like he's underperforming and that's the reason why they're losing the playoffs. No, he's going absolutely bananas and they're still losing because the players around him just aren't built I don't want to say right or maybe built just for Donovan Mitchell to fully succeed. And a lot of his teammates let him down. Like, let's be real. This is not Donovan Mitchell's fault. He should not take the blame on this. Uh, you know, Shaq's definitely in the wrong for this. And there wasn't even criticism. He just said he didn't say, in this game, this is you did this type of thing and you shot this way. I don't like how you play this in the game. I don't like how this happened in the game and you did this. He didn't give any examples. He didn't give anything. He just said, I don't think you can step it up when playoff time comes around or something. Like, how was that criticism? Like, thanks for constructive criticism is telling someone what they do bad and then telling them how they can improve it. Shaq just saying that, Donovan Mitchell's kind of sitting back like, okay, well, how do I improve that? Like give me something to do. Like it wasn't criticism. It was not constructive criticism. Anybody who thinks it was has never gotten constructive criticism in their life. Uh, it was just straight up hating by Shaq, in my opinion. He's coming off as a bitter old man right now, and that's
Yeah.
not great for Shaq.
Yeah, also Kenny the Jet Smith also said that he wanted Mitchell to if he wanted to be the superstar, be the guy, he wanted him to like lead the team more than just scoring. Like he wanted to lead in like in rebounds and assists and wanted to get more of those. But it's like,
That's constructive criticism.
but my thing is like everyone keeps forgetting basketball is a team sport at the end of the day.
Yeah,
When you have a guy like Rudy Gobert already averaging 10 plus rebounds, you have a guy like Conley who leads the team in assists. You got guys to do that to help you out. Those guys supposed to excel at those things to help create one unit to win a championship. Mitchell can't do everything all the time.
yeah,
Only a very a handful of players can do something like that. But a lot of them, a lot of those players still had help. When LeBron won his chip in Cleveland, he had Kyrie and he had Kevin Love. When Michael Jordan won, he had Scottie Pippen. All these players had players who could do things. Well, I don't know about for LeBron, but a lot of these players have other teammates that can help them out and like push them to push their team as a whole to the next level. I just feel like this just came out of left field. I did
yeah.
not like this comment whatsoever.
Yeah, and like you said before, like when Kenny Jet Smith said, "I want you to, lead the team in uh, assists or rebounds," and that's a more fair, constructive criticism. You could say, I like your game. I think it'll be even better if you added some playmaking and help playmake for some of your teammates. Like that's a constructive form of criticism. But just saying, I don't think you have what it takes. You need to step it up. Like that's not any type of criticism at all. That's just straight up hating. Like
I agree 100%, honestly.
yeah, and even going back to what you're saying about even LeBron like needed teammates and stuff. LeBron didn't know how to win a championship like that. He didn't get that mentality until he went to Miami, and Wade kind of passed that down to him. And so after that, since that point, I mean, LeBron's entire career has changed. I mean, he's become a winner. He's won 4 more championships. Possibly 5. He's possibly gonna win 5 right this year, maybe even 6 the next year. So sometimes it just takes having a good teammate to impart on you what it really takes to win. Donovan Mitchell, could use that. Uh, but even still, he still knows how to win just games by himself in general. Because just he carries that entire Jazz team's offense. That entire offense is him right now. And
Yeah.
he definitely needs more help. I don't like the contract they gave to Rudy Gobert. Definitely agree. I agree with Shaq there that he was overpaid, but Shaq also was kind of hating in that on that as well. Just kind of being a little, I don't want to say like uncouth, but just kind of he went a little overboard with it, like to the point where Rudy Gobert, I think he started to hear it and he started to get in his own head and he started to actually perform a little bit worse. But I just don't like this look for Shaq. I think if Shaq wants to say this to guys, he should say it to them to their face, but off air. Putting all this national spotlight on somebody just as motivations, it's kind of unfair to be honest. Like,
Yeah, honestly, I have nothing much more to say about that. I just feel
yeah,
like you kind of said everything. Like I said, it kind of felt like forced motivation, like to push him to do better, but like it just came off in such it was so tone deaf.
yeah,
So it just didn't matter what he said because what we heard is kind of like, okay, there was no context to it. There was nothing, like you said, to help him get better. It wasn't criticism. It was just that's it. That's the statement. And I don't know. For me, I just felt like this is a really bad look on Shaq.
yeah.
Hopefully, it doesn't get into Mitchell's head. I don't think it will, but we'll see what happens from here on out, honestly.